Sorry for texting so late, Mom. Are you still awake?
Yep, I'm awake. I just got out of the shower. What is it?
I got the stuff you delivered today. Carrots and the other vegetables. Things are so expensive nowadays, so it really helps.
Ah, so you got the vegetables. I'm not sure you'll need them, but I just kind of put a bunch of stuff in. Was there anything James's family couldn't eat?
No, James' mother was pretty happy for the vegetables. The bamboo shoots you sent were especially impressive. We were worried that you might have spent too much money.
Oh, don't worry about it. I have this colleague who gives us a load of them every year. Apparently, his grandfather owns a mountain where he grows them. I won't be able to eat them all on my own, won't I? So tell them not to worry for me, will you?
Got it.
How are things there, Susan? Are you getting along with James's family?
I guess so. There's this tiny problem, but it's fine.
Oh, what problem? Are they being hard on you or something?
No, nothing like that. You know how there are many different kinds of families, right? What seems obvious for us can be completely different in other places. It's something like that.
Well, I guess it happens. Just tell James if you think something's strange, okay? It must be stressful for you living with his family as it is.
But I'll work hard so that they'll accept me.
What do you mean, accept me? What does that mean?
I've married James and are now their family on paper. But there's still this distance between us.
Yes, but are you really all right, Susan? Something happened, didn't it?
You worry too much, Mom. It's fine. I'll make things work out.
It's all right if that's the case, but you don't have to keep living with his family if you don't want to, all right? Some people just can't get along. There's no need to force it.
Yeah, I understand. I'll tell you if something happens.
Please do. I know you're the type to prioritize others over yourself, but don't be afraid to let it out with me, okay?
Thanks, Mom. It's my turn to use the shower, so I'll go now.
All right. I know. Why don't you come home sometime soon? I know you're busy over there, but once in a while should be fine.
Thanks. I'll talk to James about it. Good night, Mom.
I called a taxi. I'm on my way, Susan.
Sorry, Mom. I know you have work.
Oh, what are you talking about? My daughter got into an accident and is now in the hospital? What made you think I would prioritize work?
Thanks, Mom.
Is your body all right? I heard that you broke a bone in your foot, but how is your head?
It's fine. They had it checked out but couldn't find any problems, they said. It seems that they're going to do a more thorough checkup tomorrow, though.
Oh, I see. What happened to the person who crashed into you?
Minor injuries, they said. He went home after a quick checkup.
Oh, how dare he crash into you who were driving completely safely? Make sure you find him, all right?
I've got insurance, so it shouldn't be a problem. He apologized as well, so...
Oh, it's good that he apologized. Apparently some people just drive away like nothing happened.
Yeah? Oh, that reminds me. There's a favor I want to ask you for, Mom. Can you go and buy clothes and stuff for me?
Sure, but isn't James there to help? Why not ask him to bring over your stuff to the hospital?
James won't come.
What?
They're planning to go on a family vacation starting today.
But you just got into an accident. There's no way they just leave and go on vacation.
No, but they just said that they're going.
Are you serious?
Sorry, Mom. That's how they treat me over there.
My. Just how exactly do they treat you?
They don't even care whether I've gone into an accident or not. They just don't care about me.
Ah, so that's how they were treating you.
I first thought that the friction between us was the normal kind between a wife and her husband's family, which is why I tried to ignore it at first. But it's different. They don't see me as family over there. I'm sort of a maid. Or even worse, slave to them.
Susan.
I'm sorry. I lied when I said things were alright. I didn't want to worry you, see? Sorry.
You're not the one who should be apologizing, Susan. You did nothing wrong.
But it's because I'm not good enough. I'm just an idiot who can't do anything right. Maybe that's why James' mother hates me so much.
You? An idiot who can't do anything right? Who said that?
That's what Jane's family thinks of me.
You are no such thing. I can't believe it. This must mean that even your husband, James, is taking the same attitude towards you, doesn't it?
Well, kinda.
Remember, Susan, you're not the one who's wrong here. Take your time and think about it while you're healing. You'll realize how horrible James's family is. How you feel is most important, all right?
Yeah. Thanks, Mom.
I'll be there in 30 minutes or so. I'll come see you and then go buy the things you need, all right?
You messed up, Susan.
Messed up what?
What do you mean, what? I'm talking about how you got into an accident. Mother already bought the stuff you needed for the vacation. She's pissed because you won't come home.
What? Why is she mad? There was an accident, you know.
That's exactly why she's mad. We were late since we wasted time waiting for you. Go and apologize to her later. It's hard for me and Dad as well when she's in a bad mood.
So you're actually going on vacation?
Can't be helped. We've had this planned out for a long time now. You weren't even supposed to come with us originally.
Why was she supposed to stay at home? It's messed up leaving your wife on her own while the whole family goes on vacation.
Huh? What are you on about? Did you hit your head and lose it or something? Didn't Mom and the others tell you that you would stay behind?
I thought that people normally would cancel their vacation and visit the wife in the hospital at situations like this.
I told you we're not coming. Me and my parents are going to go on vacation. You weren't even supposed to come in the first place, so it's fine, right?
I see. So what you're saying is that your wife is not a part of your family.
What? My wife? Are you alright, Susan? So you really did hit your head.
The wife's not actually part of the family, right?
You really just won't give up, will you? I'm saying that yes, that's how it is. At least have kids first if you want us to treat you like family.
I see. Just don't regret it later on, okay?
You're the one who keeps sending these ridiculous texts. Cut it out, will you? I'm telling Mother about our conversation, alright? You better prepare for when we get back from vacation. Long time no see, Mrs. Taruno. It's me, James.
Hello, James.
There's something I want to talk to you about. It's about your daughter, Susan. Truly, I'm sorry. I thought I was talking to Susan, which is why I might have sounded so rude. I apologize for saying those things.
So you're saying that it's alright if you're rude to Susan?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I shouldn't have taken that attitude towards you.
Honestly, I don't care anymore. You're not even going to be Susan's husband anymore soon. You're not family, got it?
Please don't say such things, Mrs. Ceruto. I don't want to get divorced.
Why not?
I'm sorry. It would have been alright if I was able to convince my parents, but the two have very conservative ideas. They wouldn't listen to anything I said, you see?
Then shouldn't you have moved out of their house? Susan talked to you about your parents' attitude, right? But all you did was tell her to deal with it.
I thought that she'd be able to get along with my parents.
Meaning you thought that since Susan was a nice person, she'd put up with the things you and your parents did to her. That she'd do anything she was told and put up with not being treated as family? It seems you've insulted my daughter quite a bit.
No, that's not how it is.
That's why you pushed on Susan. You should really think about what you did some more. It's hard for a wife to live with the husband's family even in normal situations. Shouldn't you have been there to support her?
Yeah.
Susan's saying she doesn't want to live with you people anymore. Who can blame her after what you guys did?
I'm sorry. But you can't just ban me from meeting her anymore. That's kinda mean, don't you think? Put yourself in my shoes, will you? I was suddenly just told that we were going to get divorced. This is just too unfair.
You're really saying that after you didn't even visit her in the hospital when she broke a bone?
Yes, but that's because we had a vacation plan.
So what you're saying is that the vacation was more important than Susan? I don't really think there's anything more to say if the husband is like this. That's how you treat your wife who's currently in the hospital? Seriously?
Yes, but divorce? We need to talk about this.
You didn't listen to what Susan had to say. Why should I listen to you? You agreed with your parents' attitude and hurt Susan. Oh, but we still need to talk about the alimony. So I'll arrange a meeting after Susan gets out of the hospital.
Alimony?
You and your parents caused Susan a lot of stress while she was there. She was mentally unstable. She would sometimes cry, telling herself that it's all because she's so useless. We even have a certificate of diagnosis from the doctor. I'm going to have you pay for this.
But it's not like we physically abused her or anything. We were only pointing out her mistakes.
But you hurt her emotionally, didn't you? Physical abuse isn't the only type of abuse that gets tried these days. It's true that you treated Susan like an idiot and abused her emotionally, right? I heard that her food was always just leftovers, and that she would always eat alone in the kitchen. How would you feel if someone did that to you? Wouldn't you hate it? Wouldn't you feel lonely?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Teruto, but let me talk to Susan, will you? I want to apologize.
I am not going to let you meet Susan in her current condition. I'll see how she is after she's discharged. Then I'll contact you. Oh, and will you and your parents get out of that house you're currently living in?
But
What, you thought that you could just continue living there? I asked a friend of mine to make the rent on the house cheaper. Why should I do the people who hurt my daughter a favor?
where will we live?
Susan's the owner of that house, so you have no right to argue. Get out by this month, will you?
This month? There's only 2 weeks left!
You know, I'm actually being quite kind here. Honestly, I want to kick you people out of that house right now.
I'm still technically Susan's husband, Mrs. Teruto. Let's decide on what to do about the house after talking things out, okay? This is just too sudden. We need to make a living too, you know.
Her husband? Don't make me laugh. You didn't even treat her like family. I would have considered what you said if you'd taken care of her. But I have no intention on listening to you after what you did to her.
I'm sorry. I promise I won't hurt Susan again. So please think this through one more time.
Susan chose to divorce because she didn't want to be hurt by you people anymore. There are no second chances. She went through so much pain up until now.
I won't live with my parents anymore. I won't even listen to what they say. So please listen to me. I promise to make Susan happy from now on.
I'm telling you already. Susan doesn't want to be your wife anymore. The love she had for you is gone now. Susan tried her best to do her job once she chose to become a wife. She's put up with enough.
Please, I'm begging you. Let me talk to Susan. Please. My family's really poor and I can barely get by. I won't be able to support my parents with just my salary. It's a huge problem for us if we lose the house.
Susan also needed help, you know? Why would I help you when you didn't even do anything to help her? Anyways, only family can visit her right now, so I'm afraid your meeting with her is impossible. Your family aren't her family anymore, got it? You only have yourselves to blame. You were the ones who didn't treat her like family. Susan was discharged from the hospital a few weeks later. James' family resisted to moving out at first, but they finally moved out exactly at the end of the month. After I exaggerated a bit and told them they'd be taken to court if they didn't do so. Apparently they now live at this small apartment at some remote place. After Susan recovered, we hired a lawyer and discussed with James about divorce. James kept saying he didn't want to get divorced and tried to appeal to Susan's emotions by crying, but Susan wouldn't listen to a word he said now that she's mentally stable. And so we were able to make the divorce official. There wasn't much property or cash to split to begin with, so that was over at once. But I did have James pay a fine for abusing Susan emotionally. Apparently they had to get a loan to pay the fine, so things are even harder for James now. James's parents were careless with money to begin with, which is why James had it so hard. But I feel no sympathy for him, since he had to involve Susan in his mess. Susan heard from a mutual acquaintance quite a while after the divorce that James's mother got Alzheimer's. She now has these outbursts often, which means taking care of her is quite the hassle. I heard James gets injured a lot taking care of her. Susan probably would have been the one in his shoes had they not divorced. I'm really just relieved Susan made the right choice. It's been 3 years after the divorce now, and Susan has returned to her bright and cheerful self. She says she doesn't want to think about marrying again, but apparently she's been going out with someone recently. I'm glad she was able to find someone new, but I can't help but worrying after what happened. I'm sure that whoever she's chosen after getting over all that is all right, though. I just wish that this time she'll be able to find happiness. I'm cheering for you, Susan.